This video is sponsored by Dossier. Dossier is a fragrance company that reproduces high-end luxury fragrances. They have perfumes and cologne for men and women, and you can get the perfume that you would normally pay hundreds of dollars for $29. And this one in particular that I chose smells absolutely amazing. Also, all of their perfumes are vegan, cruelty-free, and paraben-free. But it comes in this really cute packaging, and when you open it, it says iconic scents, designer quality, no markups. So mine in particular is called Fruity Magnolia, and it gives you a little card and shows you the notes of your scent, also what it is inspired by. So this one is the Versace Bright Crystal Eau de Parfum. I've never known how to say that, but I am obsessed with this scent, and my husband is a huge perfume connoisseur, and so he always will tell me if like my perfumes smell bad. But this one in particular we are both obsessed with. It is extremely fruity, but it also has like that sexy smell at the same time. If you can see, it comes like that, and it's in this beautiful bottle with the Fruity Magnolia on it. And what's really cool about the top is it's magnetic. Like, how cool is that? But it seriously smells so good. I'm obsessed. Like, I wear it all the time. And they were kind enough to give me a 10% discount off for you guys if you do want to go check out their website and purchase some of your favorite perfumes. They have tons of different fragrances to choose from, and it will also show you what they're inspired by, and which ones to get based off of like what scent you enjoyed the most. So obviously I'm a huge fruity person, and that's why I chose this one. I'm so happy I did because it literally smells freaking amazing. But again, thank you Dossier for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's get into the rest of this video. Hello there. How are you doing tonight? Good. Well, I am here to help you get ready for bed and also help you fall asleep. Yes. Sometimes that can be very difficult to do if you have a lot of stress going on in your life. So I thought that I could take that off of your hands and, just do it for you. I've got some special things for you to help you relax as much as possible. And I'm going to take care of all the things that you normally don't want to do at night. So this is just for you to relax and get the best sleep that you possibly can. So what I want to start out with first is I'm just going to light a candle to set the mood and get you in a more relaxed state of mind. I have this mango tangerine scented candle. It smells wonderful. be a nice aroma to have throughout the room as I am pampering you, okay? So, just going to let this melt a little bit so that you are able to smell it and get you nice and relaxed. Okay. Okay, now the next step is a little bit of tea. I hope you like tea because I made you one of my favorite teas to go to sleep with, and that is some chamomile tea. And I put a little bit of honey in here for sweetening, and honey is also really good for relaxation and for sleep. And I put it in this really adorable owl cup for you, since you can hear owls at night when you are sleeping, depending on where you live. But I have this for you to drink throughout this time together. So enjoy as much of it as you would like. And I have a little spot over there for you to set it down while you are not drinking it, but it's easy access for when you do want it, okay? Alright, here you go. How does it taste? Good, I was hoping that you would like that, especially with a little bit of honey added into it. Yes, it's definitely one of my favorites, so I'm really happy that you enjoy it. Okay, so I do want to do some skincare on you, since it is so important to take care of your skin, especially at night, to get rid of all of the different pollutions and dirt that gets on our skin throughout the day. Yes, so I just have a few things over there that I'm going to be using on your face. You're not allergic to anything, correct? Okay, good. I just wanted to check because I don't want to have any breakouts or anything like that on your skin. Okay, good. Okay, so the first thing I am going to use is just some makeup remover. And this also just gets rid of anything on your face dirt-wise, and I will be able to see it on the cotton pad while I'm wiping it off. So this is just really good to use before we put anything else on your skin, okay? Alright. And this is an oil-based remover, so it's going to feel a little bit oily on your skin, but I will make sure to get all of that off throughout the process of your skincare, okay? Yes. And I'm just going to be using this cotton pad here to put the remover on. You don't need very much of this since it does have oil in it. Just going to dab it together really quick. Okay, so I'm going to start on your eyes first, so go ahead and close them for me. There you go. Just going to wipe this right on your eyes to get rid of any of your makeup or anything that you have on your skin. Even if you put any sunscreen or moisturizer on, yeah, that'll help to get it off so that your face can be nice and clean and refreshed. Since I will be adding other products to your skin for your nighttime skincare. So I'm just rubbing this in gently on your face, especially around your eyes. The skin on your eyes are very, very delicate, so you've got to be extra careful in these areas. Okay, you didn't have too much on there, that's good. Now I'm just going to come up here on your forehead and gently rub anything off up here. Down your nose. Okay, and then I'm going to do it right here along the cheek and bone area, your cheekbone, plus down here near your jawline. So I'm going to start on this side first, and I'm just going to get all of this area and a little bit even underneath the eye. Continuing to just be very gentle on the skin, on the face, and if you do have to pull it at all, you want to pull back instead of forward to prevent any wrinkles. Okay, now let me do this other side. Just massage. Actually, I should probably fold that a little bit. There we go. And just rub this in. I hope you're already feeling nice and relaxed. Okay, now I'm going to move down to your lips and chin area, even on the upper lip. I want to make sure I get every part of your face so that I don't miss anything. Just right here on the chin. And then across your lips. Okay. And the last place is just near the neck area. Since this area is pretty much just like the face, you want to take care of both areas. So I'm just going to do a wiping motion down your neck. Okay. Very good. Okay, next I'm going to do your face wash. And I have this tool that I'm going to be using on your skin. skin to massage the face wash into. This will just really help get into those deep grooves and work all of the dirt and toxins out of your skin, okay? I have some water here, so I'm just going to get this wet. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this cleanser. It's a 4-in-1 age minimizing cleanser, so it's great for anti-aging purposes. I'm just going to put a little bit on this face massage tool. You don't need very much. And this massage tool makes a little noise, so I just wanted to warn you before I did turn it on. So it's not too loud, okay? It's good. Okay, perfect. Another wonderful thing about this is it really gets into the deep areas that I can't reach, so you don't have to use this tool as long. And I can even work it down the neck. It's a very nice scrubbing tool, so it probably felt really good to massage it against your skin. Okay, now I'm going to take this spa rag here that I have, and I'm just going to dip it in the water. To rub off the cleanser. Down here near your chin and your neck. Okay, next item is just a little bit of rejuvenation cream. This also has vitamin C in it, so this is just going to help revamp the skin, make it look nice and youthful. So I'm just going to put about that much. Rub that in between my fingers. And I'm just going to rub this all over your face. nose. And near the jaw. Our chin. And then down the neck. Alright, how does that feel? Yeah, it should feel really nice. Okay, so the last thing I am going to do for your skin is just put a little bit of a night cream on there. Yeah, that'll just protect your skin as you're sleeping. Yes, and you don't need very much of this either. Just a little bit. I'm also just going to rub that into my hands. Just the tips so that I can really get it on your face. Okay. Making sure I got everything. Alright. So that is your skincare. Does it feel good? Good. And how are you enjoying your tea? Is it making you feel sleepy yet? Yeah. It takes a little bit of time, but it'll definitely help you feel more relaxed first. And then you will slowly start to drift off to sleep. Yes. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I just have a little bit of a spray here. It's my own special concoction. And it's just a peppermint and lavender spray. And both of those oils have been known to help with relaxation and sleep. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of it around you and kind of waft it in your face. And I just want you to breathe it in slowly. Yes, and that will really help you relax. So I'm just going to spray this. Okay, there you go. I'm just going to waft it around you and just take some deep breaths in. Good. Do that 2 more times. Very good. 1 more. Beautiful. Okay. So, the last thing that I want to do to help you fall asleep is to obviously lie down in your bed and get as comfy as you possibly can. I did get you some fresh sheets, so they should be nice and warm. and I sprayed your pillow with a little bit of that spray. I just sprayed around you so that you can smell that throughout the night. But once you are comfortable in your bed, I just wanted to read you a bedtime story. And you can close your eyes or keep them open. Whatever you choose, I want you to be as relaxed as you can. Yes. And then we can go ahead and get started. The book that I thought I could read you is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I don't know if you've ever read this book before, but I really enjoy it, so I thought that I could just read a little bit of it to you until you fall asleep. Okay, good. So I'm going to start at the beginning. So chapter 1 is called The Boy Who Lived. Mr. and Miss Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they didn't just hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was the director of a firm called Grunnings, which made drills. He was a big, beefy man with hardly any neck, although he did have a very large mustache. Miss Dursley was thin and blonde, and had nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time craning over garden fences and spying on the neighbors. The Dursleys had a small son called Dudley, and in their opinion there was no finer boy anywhere. The Dursleys had everything they wanted, but they also had a secret, and their greatest fear was that somebody would discover it. They didn't think that they could bear it if anyone found out about the Potters. Mrs. Potter was Miss Dursley's sister, but they hadn't met for several years. In fact, Miss Dursley pretended she didn't have a sister, because her sister and her good-for-nothing husband were as un-Dursleyish as it was possible to be. The Dursleys shuddered to think what the neighbors would say if the Potters arrived in the street. The Dursleys knew that the Potters had a small son, but they had never seen him. This boy was another good reason for keeping the Potters away. They didn't want Dudley mixing with a child like that. When Mr. and Mrs. Dursley woke up on the dull gray Tuesday, our story starts. There was nothing about the cloudy sky outside to suggest that strange and mysterious things would soon be happening all over the country. Mr. Dursley hummed as he picked out his most boring tie for work, and Mrs. Dursley gossiped away happily as she wrestled a screaming Dudley into his high chair. None of them noticed a large, tawny owl flutter past the window. At 8:30, Mr. Dursley picked up his briefcase, pecked Mrs. Dursley on the cheek, and tried to kiss Dudley goodbye, but missed, because Dudley was now having a tantrum and throwing his cereal at the walls. "Little Tyke," chortled Mr. Dursley as he left the house. He got into his car and backed out of number 4's drive. It was on the corner of the street that he noticed the first sign of something peculiar: a cat reading a map. For a second, Mr. Dursley didn't realize what he had seen. Then he jerked his head around to look again. There was a tabby cat standing on the corner of Privet Drive, but there wasn't a map in sight. What could he have been thinking of? It must have been a trick of the light. Mr. Dursley blinked and stared at the cat. It stared back. As Mr. Dursley drove around the corner and up the road, he watched the cat in his mirror. It was now reading the sign that said Privet Drive. No, looking at the sign. Cats couldn't read maps or signs. Mr. Dursley gave himself a little shake and put the cat out of his mind. As he drove toward town, he thought of nothing except a large order of drills he was hoping to get that day. But on the edge of town, drills were driven out of his mind by something else. As he sat in the usual morning traffic jam, he couldn't help noticing that there seemed to be a lot of strangely dressed people about. People in cloaks. Mr. Dursley couldn't bear people who dressed in funny clothes. The get-ups you saw on young people, he supposed this was some stupid fashion. New fashion. He drummed his fingers on the steering wheel, and his eyes fell on a huddle of these weirdos standing quite close by. They were whispering excitedly together. Mr. Dursley was enraged to see that a couple of them weren't young at all. Why, that man had to be older than he was, and wearing an emerald green cloak. The nerve of him! But then it struck Mr. Dursley that this was probably some silly stunt. These people were obviously collecting for something. Yes, that would be it. The traffic moved on, and a few minutes later, Mr. Dursley arrived in the Grunnings parking lot, his mind back on drills. Mr. Dursley always sat with his back to the window in his office on the 9th floor. If he hadn't, he might have found it harder to concentrate on drills that morning. He didn't see the owls swooping past in the broad daylight, though people down in the street did, and they pointed and gazed open-mouthed as owl after owl sped overhead. Most of them had never seen an owl even at night-time. Mr. Dursley, however, had a perfectly normal owl-free morning. He yelled at 5 different people, he made several important phone calls, and shouted a bit more. He was in a very good mood until lunchtime, when he thought he'd stretched his legs and walk across the road to buy himself a bun from the bakery. He'd forgotten all about the people in cloaks until he passed a group of them next to the baker's. He eyed them angrily as he passed. He didn't know why, but they had made him uneasy. This bunch was whispering excitedly too, and he couldn't see a single collecting tin. It was on his way back past them, clutching a large donut in a bag, that he caught a few words of what they were saying. The Potters, that's right. That's what I heard. Yes, their son Harry. Mr. Dursley stopped dead. Fear flooded him. He looked back at the whisperers, as if he wanted to say something to them, but thought better of it. He dashed back across the road, hurried up to his office, snapped at his secretary not to disturb him, and seized his telephone, and had almost finished dialing his home number when he changed his mind. He put the receiver back down and stroked his mustache, thinking, no, he was being stupid. Potter wasn't such an unusual name. He was sure there were lots of people called Potter who had a son called Harry. Come to think of it, he wasn't even sure if his nephew's name was called Harry. He'd never seen the boy before. Alright, my dear. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed that little session and that it helped you feel so relaxed and calm, and that you are sleeping soundly in your bed, getting the best sleep that you possibly can. Thank you for spending it with me, and I will see